Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Art of Business English podcast. Andrew Ambrosi is here, your host yet again here for another episode. And today we're going to be looking at 10 business collocations that use the word power. Now, if you're in business, you know that power is very good. So I thought I'd share 10 useful collocations with you that you can use in your next meeting or power programming session or power brainstorming session. Okay, so yeah, I mean, everyone knows that in business, power can be very useful. Power is important. So I'm going to be looking at words that contain or phrases or collocations that contain the word power, which you can adopt and use. Just as a friendly reminder, if you don't know what a collocation is, it's very simple. Basically, words that naturally go together in a language. Okay, so there is not really a rule for them. They just sound good together, and the only way that you can learn them is through reading a lot. I always encourage my students to read, or you can study them, or you can listen to podcasts like the Art of Business English podcast and learn them every week, or check back through all of the episodes that we post, because we have a lot there. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Now, the first word is powerhouse. Now, powerhouse refers to a person or an organization or thing with great energy, influence, or success. Okay, so you could say, for example, Apple is considered a powerhouse in the tech industry. Okay, so that's a usage of it, all right? And it's used to describe companies or individuals who dominate their field. Okay, so powerhouse. And of course, that's one word together. Okay, so powerhouse, but we put it together. All right, so let's look at the second word on my list, which is power player. So a power player is someone who has significant influence or control in a particular industry or situation. So you might say Elon Musk is a power player in the electric vehicle market. Okay, and if you're listening to this episode in February of 2025, he's also becoming a power player in the White House, okay, alongside Donald Trump. Okay, this term is often used to describe influential leaders or decision makers. Okay, so a bit of context for you there. Now, another one on my list, number 3, is a power move. Okay, so a power move. Now, a power move is a strategic action that demonstrates strength or confidence, often to gain an advantage. Okay, so an example might be the company's acquisition of its competitor was a bold power move. Now, bold means like audacious or strong, or something that was done without fear. Okay, so the use of this would be to describe a bold business strategy or a business decision. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Now, the next one is power struggle. And yeah, this can happen a lot within organizations or within governments. Okay, so both within a party or between different parties. So a power struggle occurs when individuals or groups compete for control or influence. And you'll see power struggles happening all around us. So, for example, you might hear the boardroom meeting turned into a power struggle between the CEO and the chairman. So sometimes on a board, you have the chairman as well as the CEO of the company, and sometimes there could be a power struggle between the two. And this phrase is very common in discussions about leadership conflicts. So you can hear it in business, but you can also hear it in politics, in different regions of the world where there are power struggles constantly taking place. So it's a very common word, and you can use it in many, many areas. All right, another one, and this is what can happen after a power struggle, and that would be a power shift. So a power shift refers to a change in the balance of power, often within an organization or an industry, but you can also have a power shift within a country. Okay, so when there are rebellions or for example, if you're listening to this podcast in February of 2025, there was a very significant power shift in Syria recently. Okay, so there was the Assad regime was overthrown, and now we've had a power shift. Okay, so the use of this is to describe significant changes or in influence or control. Okay, so another useful word. And I like the next one on my list, and we're getting to the end already, so a quick, short episode here for you. But the next one is power broker. Now, a power broker is someone who negotiates or influences decisions behind the scenes. Now, behind the scenes means they are not at the front. They're not the person on camera. They're someone who knows how to do maybe what we would call in Australian English, backroom deals. Okay, in the back room, you're talking to people, you're influential, but you're not the person who's on camera. And a power broker is someone who's often used in politics. Okay, so another example might be as a lobbyist. A lobbyist is, those lobbies. So these companies or people that are paid to influence government policy. So as a lobbyist, she acted as a power broker in shaping the new policy. Okay, so power brokers are often found in political parties or lobby groups that are used to influence government policy. Okay, so the usage is this term is often used in politics or in high stakes business negotiations. High stakes means that it's very important, and if there's a failure, things could go very, very wrong. Okay, and the next one on my list is power dynamics. Now, power dynamics refers to ways that power is distributed and exercised within a group or relationship. So an example might be understanding the power dynamics in a team can improve collaboration. So if you understand the power dynamics, meaning who has the control, who is more influential, which person can exert their influence or maybe their status over the group and the decisions that are made, then you will understand the power dynamics, and therefore you will be much more influential yourself and understand where things or where people fit into the hierarchy or the dynamics of that group. So this phrase is useful in discussions about workplace relationships or organizational culture. So moving on, and I love this one, it's called a power lunch. Okay, a power lunch. Now, a power lunch is a business meeting, often over lunch, often involving influential people. And it also can be one that's done, like we're not going to move from here, we're going to meet and we're going to do it very intensely. And we're not going to go to a restaurant, we're like going to stay here until we finish or make the decision or get to the bottom of the problem or solve the issue. So a power lunch can be like a power nap where you have a quick siesta. Okay, so an example is the CEO scheduled a power lunch with the investors to discuss the merger. And again, this is used is common in networking or high-level business discussions, or when you want to tell people that we're going to do something, it's going to be very intense, this meeting will be intense, we're not going to leave until it's fixed, the problem or the issue at hand. Okay, now another one is power surge. Surge is the pronunciation, S-U-R-G-E, power surge. A power surge refers to a sudden increase in electrical power, but it can also be used metaphorically to describe a sudden boost in activity or influence. So for example, the company experienced a power surge in sales after launching the new product. Okay, so sales went, and this is used to describe sudden growth or momentum. All right, so getting to the end, almost there, last one coming up, and this is also very important to know, power vacuum. Okay, so a vacuum, a thing that you use at home to suck up all the dirt. Okay, so a power vacuum occurs when someone in a position of authority leaves or is forced to leave, creating a gap that other people try to fill. So this can also happen in politics. So when the dominant leader is forced out or is replace, well, they're not replaced, they have to just leave quickly or they're fired, this leaves a hole or a position that is unfilled. So then there's a power vacuum and people try and get into that position. Okay, so the sudden resignation of the CEO created a power vacuum in the company. And again, this phrase is often used in discussions about leadership transitions. So for a vacuum to happen, the person generally leaves suddenly and the position is left vacant. That's why there's this hole which creates this suck, okay, where people need to try and fill it. So possible candidates are sucked into this hole to try and fill that position. Okay, so again, there they are, 10 collocations. Remember to practice them, put them into use. Send me any questions that you have. You can comment on the post. You can email me. You can send me a voice message over at the Art of Business English website via the blog page for this episode. But yeah, it's super important to try and learn collocations because we use them a lot. They will help you understand what is being said, and they will also make you a much more effective communicator because you'll have a wider range of vocabulary that you can use. So grab your favorite 3 or 4 from this list. Try and use them in your next meeting or in your next email or any correspondence with people and see how it goes. I hope you can learn a few and adopt them because remember, if you use it, you will internalize it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. Okay, simple as that. Anyway, my friends, that's all from me for another episode of the Art of Business English podcast. And as always, it's a pleasure. Let us know if you have any questions and take care. Bye for now.